News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and 98.3 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
When lightning strikes, wildfires aren't far behind. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Monday, July 17th, 2017. It's another beautiful day in western Montana. Sky is a pale blue right now. We're looking at 54 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning sponsored by First Montana Bank, your home for free centennial checking, plus unlimited cash back whenever you use your debit card. Our top stories this morning all revolve around fire. Firefighting agencies are busy battling small blazes throughout western Montana as a result of not one but two nights of lightning storms. Lolo National Forest spokesman Boyd Hartwig said a new fire broke out near Bonner late Saturday.
And south Bonner, south of the interstate. We've got two helicopters dropping water on it. We've got a crew up there, another crew en route, 3 engines, and they're making progress. It's just a difficult fire because of, it's in timber, it's steep, and it's really windy.
Hartwig said the fire near Bonner is only one of many small blazes in the area.
We had the 5 or 6 from Friday night storm that we responded to yesterday. We had 3 up in the Blue Mountain area, and we had 2 in that Howard Creek area near in that Highway 12 corridor, and we had 1 in Grant Creek too, and we contained all those fires.
Hartwig said fire danger in Missoula County is still rated as very high and asks all visitors to the Lolo National Forest to use extreme caution with any potential ignition sources. Let's stay with that theme. Friday night's lightning storm sparked at least 1 wildfire, this one close to Missoula on Kelly Island. DNRC spokesman Jordan Copen said that fire was contained on the small island in the Clark Fork River.
The status is everything was knocked down pretty good yesterday. The 2 helicopters were doing a lot of good bucket work on it. And our firefighters did a lot of good work, and thanks to the search and rescue for getting our guys over there in their boats. And I think they should be mopping up right now and putting out some of the hot spots on the fire.
Like all fire officials, Copen is asking everyone to please be extremely cautious with any flammable material.
Even with that, the lightning that we've had, we're kind of anticipating more holdovers, probably a few more fires that are going to pop up here in the near future. So we're just trying to keep our firefighters safe by fighting those fires that are being ignited by lightning and eliminating the human cause factor.
Another thunderstorm Saturday night, as we mentioned, sparked even more fires in western Montana. Musselshell County authorities are telling the residents of about 35 homes to flee as a fire threatened a subdivision northeast of Roundup. Disaster and Emergency Services Coordinator Adam Carlson said the residents in the North Delphia subdivision were strongly advised to evacuate. Carlson said the fire was discovered Friday and steadily grew to more than 3 square miles over the weekend. A 4-mile stretch of U.S. Highway 12 east of Roundup was closed to traffic before reopening late Friday afternoon. State firefighting helicopters and 7 different fire departments were working to keep that blaze in check. Carlson said some of the subdivision's residents are firefighters. Others have their own firefighting equipment, and they're helping to battle that blaze. The owner of 2 pit bulls that attacked and killed a Bozeman woman has been cited for having vicious and dangerous dogs and for failure to have current rabies vaccinations for the dogs. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports Wayne Bartlett was cited for 2 counts each of violation of the Gallatin County dog control ordinances after the June 24th attack that caused fatal injuries to 65-year-old Melissa Barnes. A vicious and dangerous dogs citation carries a maximum fine of $500, while a first offense of failure to have current rabies vaccines carries a $50 fine. Investigators have said Barnes was attacked in her yard by 2 dogs belonging to Bartlett, a tenant living on Barnes's property. Barnes was flown to a Billings hospital where she later died. The dogs were euthanized, both tested negative for rabies. 22 owners of trailers in the Hollywood Mobile Home Park off North Russell have less than 2 weeks to respond to a series of court complaints that may end with evictions if not dealt with. KEI property management attorney Tom Orr said trying to determine the identities of all the park residents has been difficult.
Right now we are attempting to, determine the identities of all of our park residents, which is somewhat problematic given the kind of a transient nature of some of our residents, and then also to address rule violations and failure to make rent payments.
Orr says only about 4 of those facing rent or rule violations had responded in an effort to correct things, which means that evictions will likely occur sometime in August for many.
Right now we're working with about somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 different owners that have not paid or are delinquent. You know, our goal is not to make families homeless. It's simply to get people in compliance, and so that we can maintain and operate the park in a much more productive manner.
Orr says the Hollywood Mobile Home Park has also asked the police department to make them a point of contact when residents of the park become a law enforcement concern. Montana has fewer than 100 delayed oil and gas drillings applications on federal land within the state. Scott High of the Bureau of Land Management said most of the delays aren't the fault of the state BLM office. Haight told the Billings Gazette that in Montana, some permits were being slowed either by public objections over project conditions or myriad other reasons. U.S. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke called on the BLM to reduce a backlog of the oil and gas permits around the country. Environmentalists say poor market prices for fossil fuels combined with federal policies that allow awarded leases to go undeveloped has gummed up the program. Energy advocates say the BLM delays are real and hurting fossil fuel development in the West. The newest version of the Republican health care bill has been panned by two of the state's top medical administrators for its continued cuts to Medicaid. Aaron Wernham, CEO of the Montana Health Care Foundation, cited the reductions in Medicaid as his chief opposition to the new bill released last week.
I think it's a big deal. This is the program that takes care of the state's lowest income patients, as well as nearly 100,000 children, a lot of older adults, and more than 200,000 people in the state overall. The cuts that are being proposed are very significant.
CEO of Missoula's Community Medical Center, Dr. Dean French, echoed Wernham's concerns.
It sets up a scenario where the state would ultimately end up having to defund the expansion program, and that would affect lives of the patients we care for, particularly pregnant moms, sick babies. Those are the folks that at Community Medical Center we care for under the Medicaid program, and that's where the impact would be.
KGVO also reached out to St. Patrick Hospital for a comment but received no reply. You can read the text of the newest version of the Republican health care bill on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Montana officials are touting the dramatic drop in the state's medically uninsured because of expanded Medicaid, but they're now under pressure to reduce the number of new Medicaid enrollees. Unlike Medicaid expansion programs in other states, Montana charges premiums linked to a job training program and will end in 2019 if state lawmakers decline to renew it. Since going into effect in January of last year, nearly 80,000 of the state's residents have enrolled for expanded Medicaid, much more than the 33,000 the state had projected by this time. Critics say the higher-than-expected number could be unsustainable, and they want state officials to be just as aggressive about getting people off the program as they have been in enticing the working poor to enroll. Our Newstalk Times, 6:13.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Solid sunshine today with our high temperatures a few degrees below normal. Many areas will stay in the mid to low 80s. We'll see the warmer weather, though, returning. Highs will be near 90 degrees on Tuesday. Low 90s expected by Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.